Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. And welcome back to another Bitcoin Technical Analysis video. And today we're going to be discussing where I believe Bitcoin's going to be going. Now, it had a great rally up here, it had a good bounce, but now it's started to retrace. So the question is, where will it go from here? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Well, we're going to be discussing that in today's video. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But that being said, let's go ahead and dive right on into this technical analysis. So first things first, guys, we did have this uptrend over here. We talked about this support before, and of course now that this has broke, we're seeing a pretty hefty fall from BTC, going all the way from around the 4,200 range all the way down here to the 3,600 range. So about an $800 move from top to where it is currently, creating a bear flag of sorts, showing of, hey, your volume's falling off. If you look at this over here, you're seeing your volume fall off, which again is bearish, especially seeing all your positive volume falling off, seeing a rise in, if not an equal, in your negative volume for the bears. So that is also a bearish thing to take into account here. But again, the big notification here that you needed to get out of this was that this support broke, right? You know that this was such a steep channel, it wasn't going to be able to go on forever. So you could even have classified this as an, hold on, and we'll adjust this, you could have even classified this as a broadening wedge, which is another bearish formation that we talked about previously on this channel, seeing that, hey, while your highs are getting, you know, essentially larger than your lows, you have a upwards level of resistance and you have the same level of support. So with this going like this forms a very, very bearish pattern, and something that is unkeepable for the long term. So while it's great in the short term, and you have this expanding resistance line, it's something that can't go on forever, just because of how ridiculous it would get in, say, a week or 2 weeks or three, even a month's time ahead. So this is what creates a bearish pattern with this broadening wedge over here. So with that being done and support being broken, you have a pretty hefty fall. You fell straight through your 382, right to your 50% retracement. And now that you're on the 50% retracement, you're seeing a little bit of support here, but you're really not getting higher highs. In fact, what this is doing is just going sideways, which is again another bearish thing, indicating, hey, this is a bear flag. You came down, you're having sideways movements, you're having relatively the same level of lows, relatively the same level of highs, and now you're having just this sideways action, creating a bear flag, signifying that there could be a larger move down to come. Now, right now we're currently at around $3,755 for a Bitcoin. I think this could fall to around the 618 area, signifying that this could go to around 3,557. Now, I'm not any kind of advisor, it's not professional advice or anything like that, so don't take it as that. But currently when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing, hey, you're getting rejection from your EMAs and MAs up here, and you're also getting rejection from your 382 and creating a bear flag, all while you just broke support and you're losing positive volume. So putting all these together, it's really hard to say here that this isn't a bullish situation. I know people are still saying that this is great and this is bullish and that this is just healthy pullback, which it is, but I don't think that this is the end of this retracement. Again, I think the 618 is going to play a very big area in here of whether or not this thing is going to try to create higher highs, because I think what this could do here, and again, this could have one more leg up. I don't want to take that out of the picture here, because it definitely could. It could have one more leg up here, but I think for the most part that the 618 is going to get retested, and I think that's going to be a pretty big level of support, because what you have over here is you have candle body closings in multiple areas, and then it's also acting as the 618 fib retracement, which is fairly strong in itself, and with Bitcoin is the most popular fib retracement. So when looking at this, you're notifying that this is going to be a excuse me, a hefty level of support, and that this is going to be used again if it does retrace this far. So again, that's going to be my bet. If that doesn't hold, I think it's going to get pretty violent from there. You're going to have support over here in this around the $3,375 range. It's going to be hefty amounts of support in here from all of your candle body closings, but you break that and this thing's going to fall pretty fast, probably to an area around $3,000 flat, creating new lows, at least on the BTC to Coinbase exchange. Now we are currently looking at this on the 4-hour, and if we want to zoom out to something a little bit larger like the daily, then we can do that, because we still have this falling wedge that we said could be playing out. Now this is really going to get tested over here, whether or not we hold this next support line or whether we break it. So if we go over here to our daily and we look at this, well, we're going to see just exactly what it looks like. So over here, it looks actually pretty clean because you have a couple touches over here on your support, but you also have heavy touches on your resistance. So again, it would be really nice, and I think this far into the formation, if it goes up and touches this resistance again, it should break out if this is a stay true falling wedge, which again, it's a very sloppy one, and you have so much missing action on support from this descending triangle that we previously had over here on Bitcoin, that you have to be careful, because calling this a falling wedge, it's still not a confirmed falling wedge. A lot of this is just speculation, but it's still possible that this could get played out. I would have liked to see a touch point somewhere in this area around June, July, August. It didn't happen, so now I hope that we can make up for that over here in January, February, maybe even the end of December if it's possible, on Bitcoin over here. Again, I'd like to see a retest of support showing, hey, this can still be considered some sort of a falling wedge. Even though it looks sloppy, it still can break out, because I think this far into the formation, now that we're 50 to 75% of the way through the formation, that is the typical breakout zone for these kind of falling wedge patterns and most formation and continuation patterns in itself. So with us being between 50 and 75% of the way through, I think if it was to retest resistance, it would most likely break out, just because it's in the ideal zone. It's in the green zone for a breakout if it was to retest this resistance. So if we did break down again, another thing is that we're seeing on our 1 day, we're also seeing rejection from the 50 EMA and MA over here. It's pretty clear that you came up to that level, got rejected, and now that you are retracing. So if we did and we're actually able to break this level again, I think resistance is going to be your next level that you're going to have to talk about on Bitcoin. That's going to be around $5,200 for Bitcoin, in that range on the Coinbase exchange. I think that is going to be the next resistance. There's really not much resistance in this area before that. Again, you're going to have maybe $5,000 be a hard point to break, but besides that, besides $5,000, you're really not going to have that much keeping you from where the 50-day EMA and MA are, and where resistance is up here at around $5,200. So Bitcoin, again, showing a bunch of outcomes. In the short term, I'm pretty bearish about this. I'm currently shorting it. We'll see how this plays out, but I'm pretty confident here that maybe it has one more leg up, but I think we're certainly going to come test this 618 again before at least seeing some sort of a support level. Again, this is a pretty crucial support over here, just as if on the 1 day that we have a pretty crucial resistance on our 1 day being the 50 EMA and MA. You also have a pretty crucial support over here being this giant blue line, support line that we've talked about for months now, and also just being the 618 area being a pretty crucial support again, because if you break that, it's going to be a pretty hefty downfall. It's going to be pretty volatile, and it's going to be pretty fast. Now, and again, if this support line breaks over here, this descending support line that we have, it would be actually very violent, and you would have start having some parabolic-ish breakdown. But the good news is over here that you still have a lot of support from around this 3,000 area all the way around to $2,000 area, because, well, I wouldn't say 2,000, probably around $3,000 all the way to around $2,400. You have a lot of support in that area just from candle body closings. So that's something to take into account over here. If it breaks that, again, it's probably going to be a $1,200 Bitcoin, but there is not too much else to talk about. So I guess what we can do now is we can go ahead and make sure that we're on our 4 hour and actually zoom in a little bit here and go ahead and look at our indicators and oscillators like the MACD and the RSI. You're seeing lower levels of negative momentum, or higher levels of negative momentum on your RSI, signifying that, hey, the bears are getting stronger with each swing low. Not a good sign to see. You're seeing higher levels of negative momentum. Not an ideal thing for a bull, but you do have this upward support line on your 4 hour for your RSI, signifying, hey, you are getting essentially higher lows each time you come down here on your RSI. Now, I think this could get bad, because what happened is you actually created a good higher high on your RSI chart over here around 78, 78.1, 78.2, but now you're coming down from this oversold territory, probably into a territory where you're going to get overbought again. I think that the support line is getting ready to break, in fact, and that you could see this break, and this could be, again, another hefty drop to somewhere again. I think that could lead us to the 618 area, so keep that in mind. This is one of the things I've been looking at and seeing that, hey, I don't think this is actually going to hold up that much longer. I think that this could have a good chance of breaking, and that's one of the big things that I've actually been betting on over here. Now, it's not the sole reason why I'm shorting, but it's just another indicator of saying, hey, I think that this is definitely has a lot of things pointing bearish, as we talked about in the beginning of the video, but there is a lot of factors to put in here between looking at the bear flag and the volume and your RSI looking like it's ready to break its support, along with your MACD. I mean, there's just a lot of things to look at. You're having rejection on your 1 day, and it's looking like it's just ready to retrace. I don't think a 50% retrace is necessarily enough for something that we just had over here. Now that support's broke, 618 being almost always retested on Bitcoin. It's kind of funny. A lot of YouTubers talk about it, but the 618 area is almost funny how often in Bitcoin retraces all the way back to it, because it's almost religious in a point. So keep that in mind as well. So again, guys, none of this is legal, tax, or financial advice. This is just my opinion on what's happening in Bitcoin and what I'm preparing for myself. So if you guys did enjoy the video, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. Do not forget to leave a comment down in the comment section. I'm very active down there, very responsive with you guys. And if you guys want to join the Discord or the Patreon or anything like that, I have links to all that stuff in the description below, so go ahead and check out that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.